So I know I said that in my gay marriage video that I am very much against capital punishment, so I felt that I would make a video about why I am against capital punishment. The first thing I want to say is a quote that I'm sure you guys have heard a lot that I very much believe, and I use a lot. Why do we kill people that kill people to show that killing is wrong? To me, that makes sense. To other people, they say it's not that cut and dry. To other people, they say, well, it's what they deserve, this and that, whatever. It depends on who you talk to. Second thing I want to address is a lot of people use the excuse that it would be monetarily beneficial to our society to put these people to death, which is a fallacy. And it's extremely immoral to think that way. I will go into the first one, then the second one. The fallacy being that while on death row, you have many appeals. You can appeal your case, and those appeals cost a lot more than a life sentence. If you're on death row, of course you're going to want to appeal your case. You're going to want to see if you can get a lesser sentence. I mean, who wants to be on death row? Now, the second one, for somebody to say, I want to save a few tax dollars so that this person dies, is wrong. I don't think any amount of money is worth somebody's life. Yes, they did something wrong, and yes, they deserve to be punished, but they don't deserve to die so that you have more money in your pocket. Now, there's also the people that say that these people deserve to die and feel the pain of their victims. I'm going to read a quote. It's a citing from a book, The Death Penalty in American History by Stuart Banner. This is what lethal injection is. The first is sodium thipental, a barbiturate that produces unconsciousness, basically along the lines of the stuff that they give you when you go to the dentist and get your tooth pulled. And then pancuronium bromide, a muscle relaxant that paralyzes the lungs, and then potassium chloride to stop the heart. So they go to sleep, and their lungs collapse, and then their heart gives. What are they feeling? What pain is there? They go to sleep. That's it. That's what they know. Each execution for the equipment of lethal injection is $346.51. That's what it costs to put somebody to death. If that's the figure you want to go by, as far as saying, that it's cheaper than keeping somebody in jail for life, fine. But that's not all of the money that goes into people that are on death row. And I just want you to keep that in mind. I know a lot of doctors, well, I don't know a lot of doctors, but I've heard that a lot of doctors are very touchy about the whole death penalty thing because the lethal injection is an actual medical procedure. That's why they sterilize the needle before they give the injection, because it is an actual medical procedure. You have to have a doctor do it. It's, an executioner that is given, that's appointed the job. Now, a lot of people are for the death penalty for emotional vengeance. Either it hits too close to home. They think, well, I don't want this person to be, get off on a loophole and have them be around my children. I don't want this person to, ever get out of jail, or have the possibility of getting out of jail or anything like that. The first example that comes to mind is a sniper that was in D.C. and Virginia. A lot of people in Maryland wanted to see both Muhammad and Malvo get the death penalty. First of all, Muhammad met Malvo in basically a homeless shelter in Washington State. Malvo was so lost and so, just distraught. And Muhammad took him in and, gave him a family, gave him a father figure into his life. So, Malvo grew to respect him, honor his opinions and stuff like that. Yes, he knew that killing people was wrong, but at the same time, it's somebody that he looks up to, somebody that he respects. It's along the same lines as people that are sexually abused by family members, clergy members, stuff like that. They're just going to sit back and go, well, this is somebody that I look up to, why would they do something that hurts me? It's wrong. It's very wrong. But that doesn't mean, I think that's why Malvo got life sentence and Muhammad got the death penalty. Though I don't believe that Muhammad should have. Also, Now I'm going to go into my biggest reason, which is I want to be a criminal psychologist. I want to know how the homicidal mind works. I know how the suicidal mind works, so I want to know how the homicidal mind works. People like Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Manson, and Muhammad. They all have or had very, very wrong things in their head, chemical imbalances, something going on in there that was not right. Muhammad had Gulf War syndrome. He was one of the top snipers in the Gulf War. And a lot of people from, Vietnam, the Gulf War, even Iraqi freedom, they come back, they have these memories, they have these tortures and things in their mind that they can't get rid of, they can't release. And a lot of people go crazy. I mean, it's a fact of war. I mean, it's a legitimate thing. People like Bundy, I feel he was schizophrenic. He had his life with his girlfriend, who he was an extremely good father figure for her son. He was around very, affluent members of society. He was a very articulate speaker. He was very intelligent. And then on the side, he was killing women. Keep this in mind, though. When he was 21 years old, he went down to his home state and found out that the person he thought was his sister was really his mother, and the person he thought was his mother was his grandmother. Okay? 1 month before that, or less than a month before that, his girlfriend, the love of his life, the person that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with, that he couldn't find anyone better suited for him, broke up with him, no reason, said never talk to me again. 3 women that he saw as 3 of the most vital, uncompromisable people in his life completely, it eviscerated his entire existence. He had nothing. He was so betrayed by the 3 women that meant the most to him. His victims were all had shoulder-length hair, brunette hair, parted at the side, just like his girlfriend. Emotional vengeance. It is not right. Jeffrey Dahmer. He was vivisecting animals at the age of 6. His first victim was when he was 14. He would drill a hole in his victim's skull and inject them with certain things, sometimes sodium chloride, sometimes other things, to make them zombies so that they would stay and he could do what he wanted with them. He had a codependent complex. He had to feel wanted and needed, and he was so afraid that people would leave him. These people don't belong in jail. They belong in an institute where they can be researched. They belong somewhere where we can learn why they do what they do, why their mind works the way they do. There are thousands of murderers out there that they're doing things because they're either sociopaths, psychopaths, or they're out for emotional vengeance. Those are 3 things that the 3rd one is never right. And that's one thing that drives a lot of people to want the death penalty. The first 2 are things we need to look into. We need to spend more time finding out why they did it, as opposed to trying to get rid of them just to do the quick fix. Too many things in this society now are the quick fix, and all it's doing is perpetuating ignorance and perpetuating the, de-evolution of our society. Nothing is getting right with a quick fix. Nothing. That is how I feel about capital punishment. I want to add one more thought. When you see a suicidal person, what is your first instinct? To get them help. What is your first instinct when you see a homicidal person? You want to punish them. But what if, just a theory, what if there are homicidal people out there that have the same internal tendencies as suicidal people? A lot of people commit suicide because they want to rid the world of something they feel is toxic to society. There are homicidal people that do that for the same reason. Yet all we ever want to do is punish them.